Dr. Gorka, well, this race has been well and truly shaken up. Are any of the candidates worrying you, or is this just looking like a dream re-election for Donald Trump right now with the Democratic Party in such a mess?
No, if you look at who the clown current candidates are, and you look at how incredible the economy and the national security situation is, none of these people give any of us sleepless nights in the Make America Great Again team. No, the sad thing is what's happened to the Democrat Party. This is the party that preached to us and virtue signaled over the fact that they're for the underdog, they're for the working classes, for the victims, therefore the minorities of the world. And then you have rich billionaires, white old billionaires, and millionaire commies like Bernie Sanders as the front runners. It's a joke. It's pathetic. And now the video that's been released from a Bloomberg event where he said Hispanics and blacks of a certain age simply don't know how to behave and how to get jobs. Is this who the Democrats want to have, racists and former communists or active communists at the top of their ticket? It really is an embarrassment for the Democrats.
Well, look, I want to hear what both of them have to say about Donald Trump so that we can test out what is likely to be a campaign strategy, and then you get to respond and hit back afterwards. So let's start with Michael Bloomberg. This was what he had to say about Donald Trump from a rally in Virginia.
Donald Trump is the world's biggest schoolyard bully, with no respect for civility or decency or facts or honesty. And our party needs a candidate who can go toe-to-toe with him and take the fight to him. Just think about the past few weeks. The president has been busy insulting the Democratic candidates. He does that a lot, you know. When you can't defend your record on health care or wages or the environment, you resort to insults. Well, Donald Trump's insults don't bother me. I've never run away from a fight, and I can just tell you, he's not going to bully me, and I won't let him bully you either.
So schoolyard bully, that seems to be what Michael Bloomberg is going to accuse Donald Trump of being. Sebastian Gorka, your response?
Well, it's a cheap shot, but if standing up to the world's terrorists like Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi and killing him, decimating ISIS, destroying their caliphate, taking out Qasem Soleimani, the most dangerous terrorist operative of the Iranian regime. If that's being a bully, then let's have more bullies in the world. This is a man who stood up for the forgotten men and women of America. If you look at the fact that we have the lowest unemployment in the country since 1969, highest employment rates for women since record-keeping began, lowest unemployment for Hispanics and blacks, Mayor Bloomberg doesn't know what he's talking about. This is a man who instigated a stop and frisk in New York, which was deemed to be an utterly racist tool by the Democrats, and he's the person who's calling other people bullies. Perhaps it's time for Mini Mike to look in the mirror.
Well, that could be a big problem for him, couldn't it, with African-American voters, especially given Biden's still very popular amongst that group. Look, you call him a commie, right, Bernie Sanders. Most people accept he's a socialist. He's not even a member of the Democratic Party, but right now he's the front runner. This is what he has to say about Donald Trump.
The difficulty that we have, and I don't mean to be rude here, is we have a president who is a pathological liar. So could it be true? I guess it could be. Is it likely to be true? Probably not. And I think what happens in our own country and around the world, people don't believe much of what Trump says. And when you lie all the time, the problem is sometimes maybe you tell them the truth and people are not going to believe you. But,
So he's gone down the path of pathological liar. Your response?
I'll just state the facts. I won't do ad hominem. I'll talk the facts about who this man is. Bernie Sanders, as an American Jew, had his honeymoon. Your listeners need to look this up. Actually honeymooned in the Soviet Union when the Soviet Union was one of the most anti-Semitic regimes in the world. This is a man who is an unreconstituted communist, but of the ilk of the old Soviet Union Central Committee, who owns 3 homes and whose wife destroyed a college here when she was the administrator in the United States, bankrupted it, and was investigated by the FBI. So this is a crooked commie who honeymooned in the Soviet Union. He's a little bit like, Jeremy Corbyn. He's I guess, the American version of...
Who was, of course, a disaster and led the Labour Party to a historic defeat. But what the issue is, of course, is that right now, that sort of Corbyn Corbynista type wing of the Democratic Party, which seems to be a lot of young people. For some reason, young people like backing these very, very old socialists. No idea why. But they seem to be gathering around Sanders, whereas the moderate candidates like Pete Buttigieg and Biden and Bloomberg, they're splitting the vote. So can you see a possibility of Sanders actually genuinely getting this nomination?
Well, look, the popularity of Bernie with kids here is, the result of 40 years of indoctrination in the high schools and the colleges, and the fact that he promises stuff for free. But as Margaret Thatcher said, the problem with socialism is everything's great until you run out of money to pay. You run out of other people's money to pay for stuff. So,
But also, he wouldn't get any of these policies actually through the House and the Senate, would he?
No. And right now, if you look at what happened in 2016, I have no sympathy for Bernie Sanders, but he had the nomination literally stolen from him by Hillary at the convention with her super delegates.
So people feel bad about that, and they think maybe he deserves a chance this time, because you have to admit, Trump has actually been quite nice in the past about Sanders.
Right. No, so I think there is a lot of sympathy for him. And right now you've got a guy who's got $54 billion called Bloomberg, who looks to be buying his nomination on his way onto the debate stage. I think this could lead to a contested convention for the Democrats. And I'm just going to, buy more popcorn, because that's just...
Well, it's a dream for Donald Trump, isn't it? What do you make, Sebastian, just finally, about this rumor going around that Michael Bloomberg could consider Hillary Clinton as his running mate? Is that a good idea?
Yeah. To quote my fellow radio host on the Salem Radio Network, could we be so lucky? That's my buddy Larry Elder. A woman who's so much of a harridan, so much of a disastrous campaign in 2016.
Oh, harridan, that's mean. That's mean. Don't you feel a bit sorry for Hillary Clinton?
No, and look, I'd love it if it would happen. It would be the complete implosion of the Bloomberg campaign. But the idea that this woman, who's so greedy and so hungry for power, would subordinate herself to another white guy as vice president, not hamper.
Okay, so Sebastian, be honest with me then. Be honest with me. Who do you fear most? Who is the candidate? I know you think Trump's going to win, whoever he's up against, and I get that. But who is the candidate that makes you lose just a little bit of sleep at night?
To be deadly honest with you, Dan, I really do. I'm not afraid of any of them. If a real celebrity came from the outside.
Like Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah, like an Oprah.
Will Smith. What about Will Smith? Or Kanye West? Although he's actually a Trump backer, of course, so it wouldn't be him. Jay-Z.
No, Kanye's been in the Oval Office with red MAGA hat on, so he's on the,
that's
the
true.
president's side.
He wants to succeed Trump in 2024.
If a massively popular Democrat celebrity jumped in the last minute, that would give me qualms. But given the economy, I'd still sleep very, very well at night, Dan.